Hello patrons, welcome back to another episode of Glamour Magic. This is Glamour Magic episode 4. So each episode builds upon the previous episode. So I would recommend starting, if you haven't watched any of the previous episodes, to start back where you left off. Because the way I'm teaching the glamour magic that I use, it gets more and more complex as we go on. So we started off with a very simple glamour magic spell, which allowed us to invite the goddess Venus into our vessel of love. We called upon Venus to allow us to tap into our own inner beauty and to tap into the current of glamour magic. Now, Venus is not only the goddess of love, but she rules sensual signs such as Taurus and Libra, signs that are very much in touch with the physical, tangible, beautiful things in life. We all want to look good, yes, but we also want to feel good in our bodies. And Venus is about feeling good. She's not just about looking good, she's also about feeling good. And when we feel good inside of our vessels of love, we radiate beauty. It doesn't, I've said this before, it doesn't matter what each one of us looks like. What matters is that we feel good within ourselves. And when we feel good within ourselves, it radiates outward into our appearance. So the last episode that I did before this one, I just showed you a few of my beauty products that I was using at that time. And I kind of expressed to you how it's very important to use your words as spells. I do a lot more spells in my beauty routine, but I started off very simple, and we need to start simple because things take time. So I wrote down a few downloads that I got in the past couple of weeks about glamour magic and about what I wanted to teach you in regards to glamour magic. So the first thing I wrote down was, and I received this from Venus herself, the goddess Venus, who is willing to work with anybody. She doesn't just work with people who are Taurus suns. Venus is in everybody's birth chart. So if you want to check out where your Venus is located, find your birth chart and you will see where she is strongest in your own life. I believe my Venus is in Capricorn, and Capricorn is a sign of working hard and pushing forward. And so that is something that I love to do, is to work hard and to push forward, push ahead, and keep challenging myself. So where is your Venus? What sign is she in your birth chart, and how does she bring love into what you do? So when you start to work with Venus, Venus starts to work with you. And what does that mean exactly? So when you call upon Venus, when you do your glamour magic jar spell, and when you keep it up on every full moon, we are coming up upon a full moon on Monday, May 12th. So if you have done your glamour spell jar already, don't forget to put that spell, to put your piece of jewelry. This is what I put into my glamour spell jar here, these 3 rings. So you put your piece of jewelry in your glamour spell jar, you pull out the paper that you wrote on, you read that out loud. By the power of Venus, you put both of those things back into the glamour spell jar, close the spell jar, and put it in the light of the full moon to recharge that spell. And you do that on every full moon. So when you start to work with Venus, Venus starts to work with you. And what I mean by that is when you call out to Venus, when you call out to Venus within yourself, the love that is within yourself, when you find out where Venus is in your chart and you understand yourself better, she will start to respond to you. She will start to show you where you can improve. And by that I mean, let's say you're washing your face and you're using your spells. I am cleansed, I am blessed, I am protected, I am safe, I am stable, I am secure, I am beautiful, I'm strong, I am vibrant. And Venus will bring up more spells for you. She will bring up other ideas of how you can enrich your glamour and enrich your life. So another thing that I got down as a download was, it's the little steps that matter on this earth. So it is the little steps that matter on this earth, because subsequent little steps create big changes. And so that is definitely important, right? And especially on this earth. It is not possible to create great change if you're not willing to create change within your own life, right? Excuse me. So change starts from within each one of us. Are you willing to change your life for the better? Because when you do that, when you start by using your words to empower yourself, to bring glamour to your life, to bring love to your life, to bring Venus into your life, that's when great changes start to happen. But it starts with the little steps first. So another download that I received for us is say thank you. So I was getting this download as I was starting to feel a pain in my body. I won't tell you where because it's not important, but I was starting to feel pain in my body at a certain spot. And I said, thank you. And what I was thinking was, thank you for the times when my body doesn't have pain. So say thank you. Anticipate things are getting better. And give thanks in advance for healing. So whenever you start to feel any sort of negative or positive toxicity in your body, I want you to say thank you for the times when you are healthy, for the times when you don't feel pain. Because when you say thank you to the universe, when you say thank you to your vessel of love, that means that you are acknowledging that you are grateful for the times when your vessel of love isn't having any pain or toxicity. So remember, words are spells. Remember that. It's very, very important. Use your words wisely, right? Glamour magic is all about enchanting your vessel of love through your everyday routines. Now, the last video was about a few of my products and the fact that you can enchant your products as you are using them. But we have to remember that these are spells that we're saying. What you say to yourself becomes your reality. Likewise, what I say to myself will become my reality, because everything starts in the mind with the words that we say in our minds. So remember, words are spells. Another lesson that a download that I got was from the goddess Arachnia. Now, I started working with Arachnia in the Cliff-Oth. If you're not familiar with my Cliff-Othic journeys, you can always head over to my YouTube channel, Mo Moon, and you can check out the journey there. I have, I believe, 22 or 23 videos in that series, but in one of the Cliff-Oths, I was working with the goddess Arachnia, and she is the weaver of the web of fates. And she taught me something that I'm going to share with you. Arachnia's lesson is this: don't be afraid to break the routine, but be aware of your need to master the art of discipline. Now, what does that mean? Maybe you already know. Great. But what that means is, as you start to get into a habit of using your words as spells while you are using a certain product on your vessel of love, you will start to realize that it becomes routine for you to say the same spells over and over. And you will start to see that it becomes routine for you to do everything as a routine. And that is the art of discipline. And that's amazing because that's what gets us results. But Arachnia teaches us that we should, and her words were these: don't be afraid to break the routine, but be aware of your need to master the art of discipline. So every now and then, Arachnia will come to you while you are doing your regular beauty routine, and she will tell you that you're going to do something differently today. And that is going to be very hard because you're going to be so used to the routine, and you're going to be so used to sticking to that routine and sticking to those words that you won't want to feel like you've lost control of the routine and of the discipline that you normally have. But Arachnia teaches us to have rest. She teaches us that we can rest sometimes. That yes, discipline is important, and yes, being consistent with your beauty routine and your beauty spells is important, but sometimes it's also important to just enjoy the moment. So I thank Arachnia for those words. The next bit of information that I got was exercise your mind. Discipline your mind. Now, you know, I don't know what you think about the last video where I showed you my beauty products, and I mean, I know some of you have mentioned what you think about that, but have you tried it? Have you tried to cast spells over yourself as you do your beauty routine? Because it is difficult. It is an exercise of the mind to constantly remember and take the time to say the spells as you are washing your face. Say the spells as you are putting your lotion on your face. Say the spells as you are using your deodorant. Say the spells as you are putting on your foundation. Say the spells as you are applying your eye makeup. I'm guilty. I don't always say a spell when I put on my lipstick, but when I do think about it, I say thank you that my lips are plump, beautiful, juicy, and full of love. You know, like, another thing is, I don't know how many of you are keeping up the discipline of looking in the mirror and telling yourself, you are beautiful, you deserve the best, you are the best. So I just did that the other day. I hadn't done it in a few weeks. I had thought about it while I was in bed, and I said it to myself in bed, but I hadn't looked in the mirror and done that spell in a while. So the other day I looked into the mirror and I said, Sarah, you are beautiful, you deserve the best, and you are the best, and I love you. And so I want to say this to remind you that it's okay to forget sometimes. But when you forget, make a mental note to remember next time you're looking in the mirror. And that all comes from exercising your mind and disciplining your mind. And it is a fact that as you discipline your mind and as you exercise your mind, you are actually making sure that your brain is staying healthy. A lot of the problems with people who get Alzheimer's is in regards to plaques and tangles within the neurons in the brain. And these plaques, this plaque and these tangles that happen in the neuron, they prohibit the neurons from firing adequately and from firing quickly. And they kind of confuse the neurons, and that's where Alzheimer's, dementia and Alzheimer's starts. And one of the ways that has been scientifically proven in order to keep your mind healthy is to exercise your mind. And yes, that can come in the form of doing word puzzles or, you know, crosswords, but it can also come from taking a different route, to go to work, trying something new, and also using glamour magic in your daily routine, because you will come to see that as you are using your products and as you are continually saying the same things over and over again, it will start to feel like a chore at times. It will start to feel like, oh, do I really have to take the time to do this? But you will also start to see that after a while, you will have trained your brain to focus. And that's part of what a healthy mind is able to do, is able to focus on a task, is able to direct that focus to their hand so they can lift their hand to their mouth and eat. I don't know if you've seen people with dementia or Alzheimer's, but they can't really focus that well. They can't focus enough to take care of themselves. And that's the extreme, of course, but it all starts with discipline and exercise in the mind. And that is very healthy for the mind. So don't just think that glamour magic is all about what you look like. It's also about how healthy you are from the inside out, like I said originally. So another piece of advice that I have for you that I received as a download this past few weeks: practicing glamour magic is taking your power back. So practicing glamour magic is taking your power back, because the more you tell yourself beautiful things about yourself, the less likely you are to feel insecure in the presence of somebody else who is insecure. As you use these words of powerful, positive, and negative balance, because negative can be good too in balance, right? So positive and negative can be toxic if it's out of balance, and positive and negative can be beneficial if it's in balance, right? So as you use glamour magic, as you become used to the practice of using glamour magic, in the little things, right? Remember, when you start to work with Venus, Venus starts to work with you, and it's the little steps that matter on this earth. So what you do behind closed doors, what you do in the privacy of your own bathroom, is taking your power back, because you will start to realize that you will feel more confident. You will feel more in love with yourself when you bring love back to your vessel of love, when you change your water back into the, remember I asked you to do this when you drink water. When you have a glass of water, and I started doing this with any kind of beverage, because any kind of beverage probably has water in it, but I want you to say, thank you for this water that I am drinking. This water is transformed back to its original programming of liquid love and light and life. And then you drink it. And then you say, thank you that all the waters in my own body are transformed back to their original programming of liquid love and light and life. And remember, I told you that you program our vessel, right? We program the cells of our vessel. Every cell in our body is programmed. And when we bring positive energy and love and light, liquid love and light and life, when we bring that into our vessel of love, we transform our vessel from the inside out, and we start to feel madly in love with ourselves, and not in an egotistical way, because true love is not an energy that wants to bring others down. True love will acknowledge the shortcomings, but true love will not break someone down for their shortcomings, because you start to realize that other people have problems with self-hatred as well. And that's kind of something that, before you get used to practicing glamour magic, the more you get used to practicing glamour magic, the more you will realize that you won't have any self-limiting beliefs. You won't have any self-destroying beliefs, because you will realize that your vessel has been transformed into a vessel of love. And it all starts with programming yourself to do that. But we started with the glamour magic spell jar, because that's when we put everything that we believe into the physical plain. We said, I believe in magic and I believe in glamour magic, and I'm gonna prove it by creating this glamour spell jar. And now that I've created this glamour spell jar, I will be disciplined enough to charge this spell jar in the full moonlight every month. So because I believe in myself and I believe I am worthy to feel beautiful. So practicing glamour magic is taking your power back. And how is it taking your power back? It is taking your power back because you say to yourself, I will not let anybody else, no matter how insecure they are, make me feel insecure about myself. And that's what glamour magic does. It makes you strong. It makes you believe in yourself, no matter who doesn't believe in you, or no matter how much someone else doesn't believe in themselves. And when you practice glamour magic, you will realize that other people will start to feel better in your presence because they will start to see that you accept yourself no matter what, and they will start to feel like they can feel comfortable with you because if you accept yourself no matter what, that means that they can be themselves in your presence and that they can accept themselves no matter what in your presence as well. So another download I got: make the most of your time. You have to do it anyway. Do it with love, discipline, and determination. I'm going to read that again. Make the most of your time. You have to do it anyway. Do it with love, discipline, and determination. We all have to wash our face. If we want to have healthy skin, we have to wash our face. That's just one of the examples of what we have to do on a daily basis. We have to brush our teeth. We all have to brush our teeth. If we don't brush our teeth, we're going to get cavities, and if we don't take care of our teeth, we have to go to the dentist over and over again, and eventually we're going to have false teeth. It happens. But it's the little steps. Remember, it's the little steps that matter on this earth. Little steps towards progress create huge progress. Little steps towards laziness create huge problems in life. Huge problems. So remember, make the most of your time. And by that I mean, when you're washing your face, make sure you're doing it thoroughly. And one of the ways you can do it thoroughly is by saying your spells, because eventually your spell will be long enough to the point where if you get the chance with Arachnia to break the routine, you will already have your hand programmed to wash your face for that full minute or 2 minutes that it normally takes you to say the spell over your face. Are you catching my drift? So yeah, make the most of your time. You have to do it anyways. Do it with love, discipline, and determination. Be determined to reach the goals that you have for yourself. And the last download that I have for this Glamour Magic episode is find a reason to be thankful. Find a reason to be thankful. If you catch yourself complaining or playing the victim in your mind, change your vibration instantly by giving thanks. Find a reason to be thankful. If you catch yourself complaining or playing the victim in your mind, change your vibration instantly by giving thanks. And why did I say if you catch yourself complaining or playing the victim in your mind? Why didn't I say out loud? Because as you get stronger in your glamour magic, you will not be willing to put yourself down with your words, with your audible words. You will not be willing. But sometimes your mind might complain about something like, oh, do I really have to do this again? And automatically I want you to give in to the energy of love, and I want you to be thankful. Thank you that I can wash my face. Thank you that I can brush my teeth, because some people can't wash their face and some people can't brush their own teeth and some people don't even get their teeth brushed. It happens. I work in a hospital. It happens. A lot of people can't do the basic things for themselves. So keep that in mind when you start to complain about something that you're doing for your own benefit. Keep that in mind when you start to play the victim and feel like, oh, why me? Why do I have to be the one to have to, go to work, right? Why do I have to go to work? Well, thank you that I have a job, right? Why do I have to, you fill in the blank. And I want you to say thank you, anticipate things are getting better, and give thanks in advance, not just for healing, but for everything, for the results that you will get by casting glamour magic spells over your vessel of love. And as you start to vibrate at the energy of love, you will see that you will start to bring more love into your life. And when you start to vibrate at the energy of love, as I've said before, love is the highest vibration. And the more you raise your frequency, the more you raise your frequency, the less susceptible you are to lower vibrational frequencies. And that's when you start to realize, oh, this person's very insecure. This person's very insecure, and I'm upset about that because I don't see why this person's insecure. I think they're beautiful. But that's okay. I love them anyways, and I'm not gonna let that take away from my own self-worth. I'm gonna believe in myself, and I'm going to continue to vibrate at the frequency of love, and that's how it is. So those are the bits of information that I have for you for this episode, Glamour Magic episode 4. I know that was a lot of information. Feel free to watch the video over if you want to get more familiar with these downloads that I received in regards to glamour magic. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being my patrons. I really appreciate your support, and I really would love to hear back from you to see how it's going with your glamour magic journey. If you've been able to practice some of the glamour magic spells that I have shared with you, or any of the glamour magic downloads that I've shared with you today. Has anything resonated with you? Have you started to see a change in your life since you started using glamour magic? Again, thank you for being here, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.